subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Synopsis. Not a saint plus single heroine plus decisive killing plus survival. Gu Shaoshang was told that he was dead just after crossing. He didn't have time to grieve, and the next second he was summoned to the battlefield of all races and became the initial hero of a pink-haired loli. Hero qualification F level. Tens of billions of humans on Blue Star were selected to join the battlefield of all races. But Lin Youyu was unlucky enough to randomly get an initial hero with F level qualification. Lin Youyu, it's so spicy. The game started with a collapse of the sky. Gu Shaoshang, it's killing me. Fortunately, I have a cheat. Other heroes only have one talent. But Gu Shaoshang found that he has two. Talent ability. Hidden endless talent, endless talent. Each time you level up, your own talent level +1. Get a new talent every 10 levels. Gu Shaoshang, who said that F-level heroes are cannon fodder. Lin Youyu, go for it. Brother Gu, kill them. 10,000 races strong. My SSR qualified hero was killed by a F-level hero with one sword? You told me you didn't open it? Chapter 1 Selected Hero of Another World. Pink-haired Lolita. CH1. The brain bank is now open. During the opening period, you can enjoy wealth +1 interest every day by storing your brain. Click to receive. The protagonist is traveling through time. You are dead. Gu Shaoshang had just regained consciousness when he heard such a voice. Dead? Who died? Wait, I'm dead. 3 question marks immediately appeared on his forehead. Gu Shaoshang looked down and really saw a corpse lying in a pool of blood with a sword stuck in the chest. His white clothes were stained with blood, and his long black hair was loose, covering half of his face. Is this me? So I traveled through time? And then he died, right? After crossing over? Is this reasonable? Before he could take any more glances, the same voice sounded in Gu Shaoshang's ears again. Summoning ritual completed. Transmitting what summoning ritual? What teleport? Hey, where are you taking me? Gu Shaoshang was extremely anxious, but at the moment he was just an illusory spirit and could do nothing. He could only watch as something like a pink magic circle appeared in midair, and then a pink light fell vertically, covering his already cold body. The next second, bang, strong light flash. The next moment, the body and soul all disappeared. A parallel universe. Blue planet. 10 minutes ago, the battlefield of all races is open. The current universe has been selected, and the extraction of intelligent life forms has begun. Bang. In the next second, tens of billions of humans on the entire blue planet disappeared. A white light flashed before his eyes, and before Lin Youyu could recover from his shock, he found himself in a vast wilderness with a wide view. In front of him was a grassland, and the terrain gradually rose upwards. About a kilometer away was a forest with dense vegetation. Giant trees that were hundreds of meters tall and looked like redwoods rose from the ground, almost filling Lin Youyu's entire field of vision. Look back. About 100 meters behind me is a cliff, and in the distance is the endless sea. The sound of waves echoed in my ears. Gulp. Lin Youyu swallowed subconsciously and felt his scalp tingling. Boom. Suddenly, a bonfire in front of me started burning out of nowhere. The orange flames danced in the air, attracting Lin Youyu's attention. A book. Lin Youyu approached cautiously, bent down, gently pinched the thin book on the ground with one hand, and picked it up. Survival manual. There are 4 words written on the cover of the book. Opening the first page, it reads, "The first rule of survival in the 10,000 races battlefield. Entering the battlefield of all races means that you have abandoned everything in the past, so please face the facts in front of you. Abandon useless cowardice, and bravely survive in this boundless battlefield of all races. Recite, open character panel silently to open your own character panel to view your own information. Recite, open backpack silently to open the backpack interface and access items. Recite, open chat interface silently to open the chat channel interface. Second rule of survival in the 10,000 races battlefield. The initial campfire is an important resource for you in the early stage. Please be sure to take it with you when you leave. You can open the manufacturing module in your survival manual, but please note that you must first have the corresponding blueprint. You can open the small map in your survival manual to confirm your location, but the areas you have not explored will be shrouded in the fog of war and will be invisible. The survival manual is your important resource. Please keep it with you. The third rule of survival in the 10,000 Races battlefield. Newcomers who have just joined the 10,000 Races battlefield have a 48-hour novice protection period. During the novice protection period, your landing place is your safe zone. You can rest here without worrying about being attacked. Except for the novice protection period, there is no absolute safe zone in the 10,000 Races battlefield. Even in a town or camp, you may encounter danger at any time. So please stay alert at all times. You only have one life. Please cherish it. Rule 4 of the survival rules of the 10,000 Races battlefield. Newcomers who have just joined the 10,000 Races battlefield have one chance to summon an initial hero. If you want to summon more heroes later, you need to obtain a hero summoning order. The hero summoning order can be obtained by killing Lord-level creatures or opening high-level treasure chests. Newcomers who have just joined the 10,000 Races battlefield have one chance to draw innate abilities. Please be sure to draw them as soon as possible. Innate abilities will be one of the foundations for your survival in the 10,000 Races battlefield. Article 5 of the survival rules of the 10,000 Races battlefield. There are no allies in the 10,000 Races battlefield. Everyone except you may become an enemy, even your own race. There are no fixed conditions for passing the 10,000 Races battlefield. Survival is the only thing you need to do. Everything you do is for a better survival. Finally, Wanzhou Battlefield wishes you a happy game. I'm happy, sir. After reading the 5 survival rules, Lin Youyu was so angry when he saw the last sentence. Her naturally long pink hair swayed in the wind, and her bangs were blown up by the wind, revealing her smooth and white forehead. The delicate face, like a porcelain doll, was full of anger. Looks a little fierce. Although she was very angry, Lin Youyu knew that she had no choice but to accept the current situation. So, she chose to obediently call out her character panel. Lin Youyu, level 1, experience value, 0/100, health, 10 tenths, mana, 10 tenths, strength, 1 constitution, 1 agility, spirit, free attribute points, 0, physical defense, 1 elemental resistance, 1 attack speed, 1.01/second, fastest moving speed, 5.1 m/s, critical hit, 150%, talent ability, to be drawn, skills, none, hero unit, none can be summoned. Note, strength affects the physical damage that can be caused, constitution affects physical defense and health, agility affects attack speed, reaction ability and movement speed, and spirit affects spell damage, mana, and elemental resistance. His eyes swept over the attributes that were all one, and then quickly locked onto the talent ability column. The 3 golden words to be drawn flashed. You must give me a super awesome talent. Lin Youyu clenched his fist to cheer himself up. Then he closed his eyes and chose to extract. Swish! A golden light lit up. Golden legend? Lin Youyu's eyes quietly opened a crack. Innate ability. Immortality. Immortality. SSR, you have 100 chances to revive every day. Go and give them away, girl. Wow, it's an SSR. Lin Youyu jumped up happily on the spot, his excitement evident in his expression. Chapter 2, Hidden Talent. Who says F-rank heroes are trash? CH2, talent level. F level, SSR level. I'm super hot. Lin Youyu waved his fists excitedly. His original nervousness, confusion, and other emotions all disappeared with the appearance of this SSR level talent. Immortal body. In a place like this where dangers are everywhere, what could be better than a gift like immortality? As for the limit on the number of times, 100 times a day should be enough, right? Anyway, Lin Youyu didn't think he would die more than 100 times a day. She's not that bad. Oh, right, we still need to draw the initial hero. While feeling happy, Lin Youyu also remembered that he had not yet drawn his initial hero. So she immediately looked at the hero unit column on the character panel and pressed the golden wait for summon button hard. Swish! A pink light came on. A pattern similar to a magic circle appeared on the ground in front of Lin Youyu. The pink light is shining brightly. In the dim light, Lin Youyu squinted his eyes and took 2 steps back. Then he saw a tall and straight figure appear in the light. After a while, the light faded. The magic circle disappeared. Ding! You summoned the hero, nameless swordsman, from another world. She was dressed in white, with long, ink-black hair dancing in the wind. A scabbard sword hung from her waist. The scabbard was jet black, forming a sharp contrast with her snow-white clothes. With sword-like eyebrows, star-like eyes, and a high-nose bridge, the facial contours are almost perfect, and he has a top-notch appearance from all 360 degrees. With a height of about 1.87 meters and a ray of sunlight shining down just right, Lin Youyu was stunned for a moment. So handsome! The next second, Lin Youyu came back to his senses and quickly checked the information of the initial hero he summoned. Such a handsome initial hero should be very strong, right? Swoosh! A virtual interface unfolded in front of Lin Youyu. Unknown swordsman qualification. F level. Level 1 experience value. 0/10 health. 50/50 mana. 50/50 strength. 6 constitution. 5 agility. 6 spirit. 5 physical defense. 5 elemental resistance. 5 attack speed. 1.06/second. Fastest moving speed. 5.6 meters per second. Critical hit. 150%. Innate ability. Blood-sucking. Blood-sucking. F absorb 5% of the damage caused to restore your own health. Skill. double/LV.1. double/LV.1. Consume 10 mana points. Attack the target twice at an extremely fast speed, each time causing physical damage equal to 60% of the target's own attack power. Looking at the information in front of him, Lin Youyu felt as if his brain had crashed. No, how could such a handsome initial hero have the worst qualifications like F grade? Are you kidding me? Could it be that all the points are added on the appearance? Lin Youyu felt like he was about to collapse. Perhaps my luck had run out when I was drawing my talent? Otherwise, how could I draw such a rubbish initial hero? Haha, I shouldn't have expected that. Lin Youyu's cheeks were puffed up, and he looked very angry. The light and shadow changed, and the scenery before my eyes suddenly changed from a wasteland littered with corpses to a green wilderness. Gu Shaoshang looked around, and then saw a pink-haired loli staring at him with an angry look. A voice in his head told him, this pink-haired loli was the one who summoned him from another world. So, I'm alive again? Gu Shaoshang looked down at his body and found that it was no longer a translucent spirit body, but had returned to a flesh and blood state. The battlefield of all races? By the way, what was the place I traveled through before? And I became a hero summoned from another world? It looks like there's another character panel I can check out. Subconsciously, Gu Shaoshang summoned his character panel to check. Gu Shaoshang glanced over the F-level qualification and the poor 4-dimensional attributes and looked directly at the column of talent and ability. F-level talent? Wrong. Why is there another one? Talent. Hidden endless talent. Endless talent? Each time you level up, your talent level increases by 1. You get a new talent every 10 levels. I have 2 talents. Is this the benefit of traveling through time a second time? Gu Shaoshang thought. When Gu Shaoshang saw his F-level qualifications and F-level talents, he couldn't help but let out a shudder in his heart. Fine. There's always a way out. If each time I upgrade my original talent level, it increases by 1, does that mean that as long as I upgrade to level 2, my F-level blood-sucking talent can become an E-level talent? Gu Shaoshang touched his chin and guessed that this should be the case. As for the talent, endless talent, there are already 3 question marks at its level. There is no way it can be upgraded. The highest level of talent in the 10,000 races battlefield is SSR. A talent with 3 question marks? What level is that? Hey, what's your name? Can you speak? Just when Gu Shaoshang was thinking about his second talent, he suddenly heard the voice of a cute girl coming from his side. He turned to look at the pink-haired loli next to him. about 1.5 meters tall. She has long light pink hair, and her eyes are actually pink. Is this wearing colored contact lenses? Gu Shaoshang, the magnetic voice, coupled with that handsome face, eased the unhappy expression on Lin Youyu's face a little. My name is Lin Youyu, and from now on we will be partners who depend on each other for survival. Lin Youyu raised his head and looked at Gu Shaoshang in front of him, comforting himself in his heart that although the other party was just a worst F-class hero, he was not without advantages. At least she's super pleasing to the eyes. And the experience points required for upgrading are still very small. This can be seen by comparing the experience points she needs to upgrade from level 1 to level 2 with Gu Shaoshang's. A tenfold difference. This means that Gu Shaoshang's upgrade speed will be very fast in the early stage. Besides, no matter how weak a hero is, he is much stronger than these newbies who have just joined the battlefield of all races. Just compare the properties of both sides, and you will know. Depending on each other, Gu Shaoshang nodded silently, then looked at Lin Youyu and asked, "Can I ask, what is your talent?" No one knows Gu Shaoshang's potential better than himself. Whether it is F-level qualification or F-level talent, it is only temporary. Possesses the special talent of endless talent. His future is absolutely limitless. But as a hero summoned from another world, Gu Shaoshang is currently bound to Lin Youyu. Once Lin Youyu dies, he will also be sent back to the original world and return to the original state. But Gu Shaoshang did not forget that he was already a corpse at the beginning. This means, once Lin Youyu dies, Gu Shaoshang will also die. Looking at Lin Youyu's appearance, he seems to be a person with strong survival ability. This made Gu Shaoshang very worried. I hope this girl's talent is strong enough. If nothing else, at least you have better survivability. Chapter 3, It's Really the European Emperor? How many people are there in the Myriad Clan's battlefield? CH3. When Lin Youyu heard Gu Shaoshang asking about his talents and abilities, a smug look instantly appeared on his face. I'll give you permission. You can see for yourself. Lin Youyu smiled like a little fox and gave Gu Shaoshang permission to view his character panel. When Gu Shaoshang saw Lin Youyu like this, he guessed that her talent and ability must be very good. But when he opened Lin Youyu's character panel and saw the SSR level immortality talent, he couldn't help but show a look of surprise. Hey, it's this look. Lin Youyu happily enjoyed Gu Shaoshang's surprised look. Am I super awesome? She said with a smile. Gu Shaoshang nodded politely. This pink-haired loli is simply the emperor of Europe. I extracted talents and got the strongest survival talent, immortality. When drawing the initial hero, I got Gu Shaoshang, who has a hidden talent of unknown level. This luck is incredible. What a shame. My luck ran out when I was drawing talents. Lin Youyu suddenly looked at Gu Shaoshang with resentful eyes. But the next second, she suddenly laughed again, patted Gu Shaoshang's arm and said, "But it's okay. Let me protect you from now on. I won't dislike you, brother Gu." Gu Shaoshang, although Gu Shaoshang is not as weak as Lin Youyu thinks. But looking at the girl in front of him, Gu Shaoshang suddenly felt that it was not bad. "Come on, I'll take you to upgrade." Gu Shaoshang placed one hand on the black sheathed sword at his waist and looked towards a high slope on the right. The 48-hour safety zone for novices is an area with a diameter of 20 meters. There's an invisible barrier protecting you. Once you walk out of this area, there's an unknown battlefield of all races. Certainly, the 10,000 races battlefield will not send newcomers to very dangerous areas. So the areas where the newcomers are located are mostly areas with few monsters and lower levels. Lin Youyu held the survival manual in his hand and turned to the last page of the small map. Large areas above are shrouded in black fog of war. Only in a small area at the very edge of the lower left corner can you see a wilderness with 2 green dots on it. One represents Lin Youyu himself, and the other represents Gu Shaoshang. The mini-map can be enlarged. After zooming in, you can clearly see the contents of this explored area. When Gu Shaoshang led Lin Youyu towards the high slope on the right, Lin Youyu also curiously called out the chat channel interface. Myriad Races Battlefield. Universe Zone 908874. Galaxy Zone 776. Blue Star Zone Channel 621. Number of survivors, 10,000,000/10,000,000. Wow. There are so many people. Lin Youyu saw that the only subchannel he could open at the moment actually had 10 million survivors, and the entire Blue Star channel was divided into 1,000 similar subchannels. There are also channels for the galaxy region, and channels in the universe region, and even the final battlefield of all races. After just a quick calculation, Lin Youyu felt like he was starting to grow some brains. Isn't this too many people? On Blue Star alone, tens of billions of people have joined the battlefield of all races. And how many life-bearing planets like Blue Star are there in the entire Milky Way? Judging from the chat channels alone, there are at least 776, maybe more. The universe where Blue Star is located is numbered 908874 in the battlefield of all races, which means that there are at least more than 900,000 universes like this. What's wrong? Gu Shaoshang turned his head and looked at Lin Youyu, who suddenly exclaimed and asked, "Brother Gu, do you know how many people there are in the 10,000 races battlefield?" Lin Youyu looked at Gu Shaoshang and said, "It's too numerous to count. There are 10 billion people from our Blue Star alone who have joined the 10,000 races battlefield, and there are countless planets like Blue Star in the entire universe. Beyond our universe, there are many more universes. With so many people deployed on the battlefield of all races, how big is this battlefield of all races?" Gu Shaoshang couldn't answer this question either. His understanding of the battlefield of all races is not much different from Lin Youyu's. Maybe even worse than Lin Youyu. Don't think too much. Just stay alive and work hard to become stronger. That's what you should do, Gu Shaoshang said calmly. Instead of worrying about how big the battlefield of all races is, it is better to care about the current situation. Walking to the slope on the right, the view in front of you becomes wider. Looking forward from here, there is an endless wilderness with a forest on the left side and the sea on the right side. If this is an island, they should be in the outermost area of the island now. However, if that is the case, then this island must be very big. A wolf. In the wilderness, there were sparsely scattered wild beasts that looked like rabbits, except that they were a little bigger, almost as big as Lin Youyu. Besides, there are also some wolf packs hunting these rabbits everywhere. From time to time, you can see rabbits and wolves fighting each other. Wow, what a big rabbit. Lin Youyu also noticed these huge rabbits at this time and exclaimed in a low voice, "Let's go. Let's find someone who's alone and take a look at the situation first." Gu Shaoshang quickly set his eyes on a large rabbit with an injured leg and walked quickly towards it with Lin Youyu. After the body was digitized, everything else was fine. The most annoying thing is that the movement speed is limited. However, this may also be because Gu Shaoshang is only the lowest level F-class hero. If the hero's qualifications are higher, the movement speed that can be converted into the same agility should be higher. For example, an SSR level hero will definitely not be like Gu Shaoshang, an F-level hero who has an initial movement speed of only 5.6. Stand behind me. After approaching the injured rabbit, Gu Shaoshang immediately asked Lin Youyu to step back. Then he drew out the black-sheathed long sword at his waist and slashed it in two parts, instantly launching two attacks on the rabbit with an injured leg. The injured rabbit had no way of dodge and took Gu Shaoshang's double slash head-on. It was already injured and died instantly on the spot. Gurgling, the sword wound on the abdomen was bleeding scarlet blood, staining the surrounding grass red. Experience plus 5. Gu Shaoshang glanced at his experience points. It's halfway done. Poor qualifications have their advantages, such as the experience points for upgrading are much less. Certainly, this is also because Lin Youyu allocated all the experience points to Gu Shaoshang. After all, Gu Shaoshang only needs 10 experience points to level up, but it takes 100 points for her to level up. So it is natural to give priority to allocating experience points to Gu Shaoshang, allowing him to level up first. Chapter 4 Grassland Wolf. Level up. Talent level +1. CH4. Wow. Brother Gu is so awesome. Behind him, Lin Youyu came running over, looking at the corpse of the big rabbit on the ground with curiosity. It turns out that killing monsters won't drop anything. Lin Youyu said with a somewhat regretful tone. Gu Shaoshang smiled slightly when he heard this. Although this battlefield of all races has digitized their bodies, not the entire world has been completely digitized. For example, these beasts have no levels and don't even have health bars. Everything seems normal. The only thing that is not normal, there are probably the chosen ones like Lin Youyu and heroes like Gu Shaoshang who were summoned from another world. After killing the giant rabbit, the biological illustration of this rabbit was also activated in Lin Youyu's survival manual. Giant rabbit. It is a herbivorous beast with a gentle personality and will not attack people actively, but you still need to be careful when it is provoked. It is one of the best sources of meat for beginners. After activating the illustration, Lin Youyu also received a reward of +5 experience points. The experience point from this reward could not be distributed to Gu Shaoshang, so Lin Youyu had to accept it himself. 5 experience points are just a drop in the bucket for her. Fortunately, the illustrated book can be activated repeatedly, and rewards can be obtained every time. Therefore, looking for new species to activate the illustrations in the early stages is also a way to upgrade. Certainly, the premise is that you have to be careful not to be discovered. Otherwise, with their small bodies, these newcomers would probably be eaten by these beasts as lunch. Gu Shaoshang handed the giant rabbit's body to Lin Youyu to keep. As a hero summoned from another world, Gu Shaoshang did not have a backpack to store items like Lin Youyu and the others. Each of the selected warriors, including Lin Youyu, has an initial backpack with 9 slots. Each backpack slot can hold up to 99 items of the same type. Brother Gu, go for it. After putting the giant rabbit's corpse into his backpack, Lin Youyu waved his arms and shouted excitedly. Not far away, 3 giant rabbits were grazing on the tender grass on the ground. The giant rabbit is nearly 1 meter long. With its huge incisors, it can eat a small piece of tender grass in front of it with just a few bites. In a short while, all the tender grass in the surrounding area will be eaten up. The ground became bare, revealing the soil layer underneath. Far away, 2 prairie wolves were lying in ambush in the tall grass, crouching as low as possible so that the dense grass growing around them could hide their gray-green fur. The 3 giant rabbits, busy eating, had no idea that danger was approaching. Bang! Suddenly, a stone flew from a distance and hit right in front of 2 prairie wolves hiding in the grass. The 3 giant rabbits that were originally concentrating on eating suddenly raised their heads in alertness. Chirp! The giant rabbit's red eyes immediately locked onto the 2 wild wolves hiding in the grass, and it immediately gave them a warning cry. Seeing that they were discovered, the 2 prairie wolves no longer hid, but jumped out from the weeds and pounced on the 3 giant rabbits with their fangs and claws. The prairie wolf is not big in size. Excluding the tail, its body length is only about 1 meter. It is even inferior to the giant rabbit in weight. But coyotes have fangs and claws. The carnivore's weapons allowed them to maintain an advantage even when facing giant rabbits that outnumbered them. Facing the 2 prairie wolves that pounced on them, the 3 giant rabbits also squeaking and kicking their legs to fight back. Bang! A prairie wolf was hit by a giant rabbit's kick. The body weighing 20 or 30 kilograms was kicked away in an instant, but the next second another prairie wolf pounced on it and bit the giant rabbit on the neck. The fangs instantly pierced the giant rabbit's flesh. Blood flowed down the wound. The giant rabbit struggled frantically in pain. The other 2 giant rabbits also bit the prairie wolf. Although giant rabbits are herbivores, their large front teeth are not just for show. If this bite hits, the end result will at least be torn into pieces. Fortunately, prairie wolves have extensive experience in hunting giant rabbits. The prairie wolf that bit the giant rabbit immediately opened its mouth and stepped back, avoiding the attack of the big fangs of the other 2 giant rabbits. Tear it! The next moment, sharp claws scratched the face of a giant rabbit. The giant rabbit's eyes were blinded in an instant. Blood splattered. The giant rabbit cried out in pain and lost its fighting ability for a moment. At this time, the prairie wolf that was kicked away at the beginning also got up and pounced on him again. 2 against 2. How could the giant rabbit be a match for the prairie wolf? Just as the remaining 2 giant rabbits were about to be in danger, a figure suddenly rushed up from the other side. Two-stage slash. The black-sheathed sword in Gu Shaoshang's hand was instantly unsheathed, and then he quickly launched 2 attacks. The prairie wolf, with its back to him, was instantly severely injured by Gu Shaoshang's 2 swords. A cross-shaped tear appeared on one side of its waist and abdomen, and its intestines were about to fall out. A woo! The severely injured prairie wolf fell to the ground instantly. Gu Shaoshang also added another sword strike, directly piercing the prairie wolf's throat. Experience +7 swoosh. A faint golden light appeared on Gu Shaoshang's body. Upgraded. A force suddenly surged into Gu Shaoshang's limbs and bones. The next second, he dodged the claws of another prairie wolf by leaning sideways, and then swung out with the black-sheathed sword in his hand. Swish! Swish! 2 sword lights fell in a cross shape. A mournful woo was heard, and the prairie wolf that pounced on him immediately had 2 bloody wounds on its body. Swish! Another sword. The black-sheathed sword in Gu Shaoshang's hand pierced directly through the mouth of the prairie wolf, and the tip of the sword instantly penetrated through its head. Phew! The drawn sword blade caused blood to splatter. With a plop, the wolf's body fell to the ground. Experience +7, killing 2 prairie wolves in a row. Although it was a sneak attack, it also shows that the strength of the prairie wolves is indeed average. After all, Gu Shaoshang's panel is just that of an F-level hero. He is at the bottom of the list among all heroes. Chirp! At the side, the giant rabbit on the neck and hand let out a painful cry. The other 2 giant rabbits were not feeling well either. There were multiple scratches on his body caused by prairie wolves. Swish! Phew! Gu Shaoshang turned around and pierced the body of a giant rabbit with his sword. The next second, he quickly drew back his sword to block. Bang! An injured giant rabbit kicked directly at the sword that Gu Shaoshang was using to block. The huge force of the kick made him take a step back. The health points dropped by 2 points instantly. Two-stage slash. With 2 swipes of the sword, another giant rabbit was killed. The last giant rabbit still wanted to run away. He was caught up by Gu Shaoshang and was hacked to death with a double slash. Experience +5. In the blink of an eye, I gained another 15 experience points. At this time, Lin Youyu, who was hiding behind, came running over. Wow, Brother Gu, you are so awesome. Lin Youyu ran over and looked at the corpses all over the ground, and couldn't help but look at Gu Shaoshang with admiration. Is this really the strength of an F-class hero? Then how powerful should the heroes at levels E and D be? Let's clean it up. Gu Shaoshang smiled slightly and asked Lin Youyu to collect the corpses of the giant rabbits and prairie wolves around. Chapter 5, D-level blood-sucking talent. Lucky fish in the forest. Black iron treasure chest. CH5. While Lin Youyu was cleaning up the battlefield, Gu Shaoshang also took a look at his character panel. Unknown swordsman qualification. F-level. Level 2. Experience value. 24/30ths health. 60/60 mana. 40/60ths strength. 7 constitution. 6 agility. 7 spirit. 6 physical defense. 6 elemental resistance. 6 attack speed. 1.07/second. Fastest moving speed, 5.7 meters per second. Critical hit, 150%. Innate ability, blood-sucking. Blood-sucking, absorb 10% of the damage caused to restore your own health. Talent, hidden endless talent. Each time you level up, your talent level increases by 1. You get a new talent every 10 levels. Skill, /LV.1. /LV.1. Consume 10 mana points, attack the target twice at extremely fast speed, each time causing physical damage equal to 60% of the target's own attack power. After reaching level 2, all attributes increase by +1. This growth is really low. As expected, he is of F-level qualification, but the experience points required to upgrade also increase slightly. It just increased from 10 points to 30 points. After killing these giant rabbits and prairie wolves, Gu Shaoshang still had 24 experience points left. Only 6 points left to level up. Just kill 1 more prairie wolf. In addition, The biggest change is talent and ability. The original F-level blood-sucking talent turned into an E-level blood-sucking talent after upgrading. The level was directly upgraded. The effect is doubled. The 2 points of health that Gu Shaoshang had lost before had already been recovered by this time. One more level, and I can raise my talent to D-level. A D-level talent shouldn't be too bad, right? Gu Shaoshang thought to himself. At this time, Lin Youyu also put all the corpses around him into his backpack. Brother Gu, it's all done. Lin Youyu came over clapping his hands and said with a grin, well, let's go ahead and kill more before it gets dark. Gu Shaoshang nodded, looked up at the sky, and said. It was already afternoon when Lin Youyu and other humans from Blue Star were thrown into the battlefield of all races. At this moment, the sun in the sky is already close to the western horizon. It will be dark in an hour or two at most. Gu Shaoshang wanted to upgrade 1 or 2 levels before it got dark. After all, the protection period for novices is only 48 hours. Do you want to spend the night peacefully after this protection period is over? Then we can only pray for God's blessing. But Lin Youyu was really lucky. The place where she was dropped off was relatively safe. If it was dropped directly into the forest in the distance, Gu Shaoshang would never dare to come out and hunt these wild beasts as brazenly as he does now. There seem to be only 2 kinds of wild beasts in this wilderness. One is a giant rabbit that will not actively attack people. The other is the prairie wolf. Although they will attack actively, their strength is weak, and even an F-level hero like Gu Shaoshang can defeat 2 of them alone. And most importantly, prairie wolves don't gather in groups of 10 or 20. At most, 4 or 5 of them would gather together and act. Before the upgrade, Gu Shaoshang could fight 2 at the same time. Now that he has reached level 2, both his attributes and talents have been strengthened. Now, even if he is fighting 1 against 3, Gu Shaoshang is confident that he can win with minor injuries. 10 minutes later, Gu Shaoshang discovered 2 more prairie wolves eating. The 2 prairie wolves had just killed a giant rabbit and were eating its carcass. How disgusting! Lin Youyu, who was following Gu Shaoshang, had a look of disgust on his face. You stay here, I'll go over and take them out. Gu Shaoshang said calmly. Brother Gu, be careful and stay safe. Lin Youyu nodded obediently and stayed where he was, watching Gu Shaoshang move forward. The 2 prairie wolves that were eating relaxed their vigilance a little. It was not until Gu Shaoshang approached about 5 meters away from them that they suddenly stopped eating and looked over here. Gu Shaoshang covered the 5-meter distance with just 1 sprint. 2-stage slash. After consuming 10 mana points, Gu Shaoshang instantly slashed out 2 swords with the black sheathed sword in his hand. Puff, puff. A burst of blood splattered. One of the prairie wolves had no time to dodge and was cut down by Gu Shaoshang's 2 swords and lost most of its combat power in an instant. A woo! Another prairie wolf rushed over with a roar. The prairie wolf was faster than Gu Shaoshang, but Gu Shaoshang was prepared and stabbed straight ahead with his sword. It looked as if the prairie wolf had crashed into the tip of his sword itself. The next second, phew! The sword blade instantly pierced into the body of the prairie wolf. At the same time, the prairie wolf also scratched 3 bloody wounds on Gu Shaoshang's arm. Health points dropped by 5 points instantly. But the next second, Gu Shaoshang slashed the prairie wolf with 2 swords again. The E-level blood-sucking talent instantly sucked back 2 health points for him. Then he drew his sword and stepped back, avoiding the prairie wolf's dying counterattack. Phew! Blood splattered. A huge wound was instantly cut on the prairie wolf's neck. Health +1. He sucked another mouthful of blood. The 3 bloody cuts on the arms had become much lighter. The next second, experience +7. The wolf corpse fell to the ground with a thud, bringing Gu Shaoshang 7 experience points. Swish! A faint golden light lingers. Gu Shaoshang has upgraded again. All attributes +1. Talent level +1. Innate ability, blood-sucking D. Absorb 20% of the damage caused to restore your own health. Upgraded to D-level blood-sucking talent. The blood-sucking effect doubles again. Walking forward, Gu Shaoshang swung his sword and killed the dying prairie wolf. Experience +5. Killing prairie wolves now gives less experience. It has been reduced from 7 to 5. But this is normal. After all, Gu Shaoshang has already reached level 3 at this moment. Xiaoyu, come here. Gu Shaoshang turned around and shouted. Brother Gu, look what I found. Lin Youyu ran over from behind the bushes not far away, dragging a box in one hand. Gu Shaoshang also looked at the box she dragged over. The box is not very big, about the size of an ordinary medicine box. It is all black and has a slightly simple style. Where did you find this? Gu Shaoshang asked curiously. In the grass over there. Lin Youyu pointed to the bushes not far away, then dragged the box in front of Gu Shaoshang and put it down as if presenting a treasure. Brother Gu, do you want to open it? She asked with a giggle. No, you drive it. Gu Shaoshang shook his head. He was not sure whether he had good luck or not, but he was sure that Lin Youyu had good luck. So she was the one to open this black iron treasure chest. Definitely the best choice. Friday chapter sleeping bag drawing. The night is coming. CH6. Okay, I'll drive then. Lin Youyu was obviously very interested in unpacking the box. She rubbed her hands together, then opened the black iron treasure chest with great force and a serious look on her face. A white light lit up, mixed with a hint of green. When the light faded, several things inside the treasure chest were revealed. Ding! Get 500 milliliters mineral water 5. Get 500 Jihan bread 10. Obtain a low-quality short blade, white one. Get sleeping bag blueprint green. Inside the black iron treasure chest, a pile of supplies lay quietly. There are 5 bottles of mineral water, all in 500 milliliters plastic bottles, without obvious brand packaging, so it is impossible to tell what brand they are. There are also 10 loaves of bread stacked together, each weighing 1 pound. 10 of them, weighing a full 10 kilograms. There is also a short knife about the length of a forearm placed next to it. The style is simple, and its name is Inferior Dagger, and it is a white equipment. In the battlefield of all races, all items except basic survival supplies are divided into several levels. White is the lowest tier item. The above is green and blue. In a black iron treasure chest, you can usually only get basic survival supplies and 1 or 2 white items, and there is a small chance of getting a green item. But betting on this probability is not as good as betting on a pie falling from the sky. However, for European emperor like Lin Youyu, this low probability event suddenly became a normal event. Sleeping bag drawings quality. Green, learn how to make a fine sleeping bag, which can provide better warmth. Good news, I have a place to sleep tonight. It's the blueprint for a sleeping bag, great. Lin Youyu jumped up happily, then picked up the drawing and chose to study. The sleeping bag drawing instantly turned into a green light and sank into Lin Youyu's body. Then she quickly took out the survival manual, turned to page 6, and saw the only manufacturing skill she currently had. Exquisite sleeping bag quality. Green, require materials. Fur 0/10, fiber 0/10. After learning how to make a sleeping bag, Lin Youyu can directly see the materials needed to make a sleeping bag in the manufacturing module of the survival manual. It takes 10 skins and 10 fibers to make a fine sleeping bag. Fur can be obtained by dissecting animal carcasses. The fiber can be collected from bushes. Fiber is relatively easy to find, but you need to kill monsters to get the fur. For many humans on Blue Planet at this stage, even survival is a problem, not to mention hitting 10 furs. So even if they were given the blueprint, not everyone would be able to make a sleeping bag. Don't pick it up, just close the box and throw the whole thing into your backpack. At this time, Gu Shaoshang saw that Lin Youyu was about to take out the things from the black iron treasure chest and put them into his backpack, so he spoke up to remind him. The treasure chest in the 10,000 races battlefield will not disappear after it is opened, but it will still exist. A high-level treasure chest is a resource in itself. That's right. Brother Gu, you are really thoughtful. Lin Youyu slapped her forehead with her little hand, then giggled and threw the entire black iron treasure chest in her backpack. You can put it in the safe zone when you go back later. Anyway, during the 48-hour novice protection period, the safe zone is the safest place. Let's go before it gets dark. Let's gather the materials needed to make a sleeping bag. Gu Shaoshang said to Lin Youyu. Then he took the lead and walked forward. For the next hour or so, Gu Shaoshang took Lin Youyu to hunt in the wilderness and look for suitable bushes to collect. The task of collecting was naturally given to Lin Youyu. After the first manual collection, Lin Youyu learned the collection skill. You can use one skill directly to automatically collect some of the collectible items on the target object. This will greatly save time costs. Soon, now you have the 10 pieces of fiber needed to make a sleeping bag. There were even 6 more. On Gu Shaoshang's side, he successfully hunted down several prairie wolves and giant rabbits again. The number of beast carcasses has far exceeded 10. Lin Youyu took the corpses out of his backpack and collected them one by one. Rabbit meat plus 10, rabbit meat plus 7, wolf meat plus 11, fresh thigh bone plus 2, fur plus 1 after a series of prompts. There was a pile of supplies right in front of me. Meat is the most abundant among them. However, rabbit meat and wolf meat cannot be stacked, so they occupy 2 backpack slots. Fresh thigh bones are collected from prairie wolves. If you don't have any weapons, you can use them as temporary weapons. Later, you may encounter some drawings that require bones as materials. However, Lin Youyu does not have such a blueprint at hand now, so just throw away the bones and don't use them. The furs are basically one piece from each wild beast, and some are inferior goods, such as damaged furs, that appear when the collection is damaged. Are there enough? While Lin Youyu was collecting, Gu Shaoshang was guarding beside him. After she finished collecting, Gu Shaoshang asked if the quantity was enough. That's enough, Lin Youyu said with a smile. Then let's go back. It's going to be dark soon. Gu Shaoshang nodded and looked towards the sea level in the west. It was already dusk. We still have to walk some distance to get back to the safe zone. By the time they returned to the safe zone, it was almost dark. A wolf. In the distance, the howling of prairie wolves could be heard one after another. The giant rabbits that were originally foraging for food began to run towards their nests one by one, as if something terrible would appear in the coming darkness. Gu Shaoshang and Lin Youyu also started to return in the direction they came from. Fortunately, there is a small map. Otherwise, they might really get lost. 20 minutes later, it was getting dark. Fortunately, Gu Shaoshang and his team had already arrived at the initial safe zone. After entering the safe zone, Gu Shaoshang breathed a sigh of relief. Just when it got dark, he suddenly felt a creepy feeling. It was as if there was some horrible monster in the darkness behind me, staring at me and drooling. The feeling of horror that made my scalp tingle was really scary. Fortunately, once we were in the safe zone, that feeling disappeared. How terrible! Lin Youyu patted his chest, also looking frightened. He looked back at the darkness behind him. The pitch-black wilderness no longer had the feeling of daytime. It became a bit eerie and scary. In the safe zone, the bonfire was still crackling. A magical campfire that will keep burning as long as you add wood to it. Even extinguishing and igniting are fully automatic with one button. Gu Shaoshang and Lin Youyu sat around the campfire, using stones as stools. At this time, Lin Youyu took out a few pieces of rabbit meat from his backpack, inserted fresh branches into the meat, and then roasted it on the campfire. The conditions are simple now, and there are no seasonings. That's all I can do for now. Chapter 7. The First Night of the Myriad Clan's Battlefield. Also Old Lu. CH7. While Gu Shaoshang was barbecuing, Lin Youyu opened the regional chat channel again. Want to see what other people's first day was like. I was busy during the day and didn't have time to read it. Now that it's dark, I have some free time and can take a look at the situation in the chat channel. Myriad Races Battlefield. Universe Zone 908874. Galaxy Zone 776. Blue Star Zone Channel 621. Number of survivors 9, 999, 837/10, 000. More than 100 people have died in one day. Lin Youyu subconsciously glanced at the number of survivors in the regional channel. It turned out that after one day, the number of people decreased by 163. Some people are being put in positions that may not be as secure. Gu Shaoshang, who was grilling meat, heard Lin Youyu mumbling to himself. He was not surprised at all that more than 100 people died during the day. He even felt that the death toll was a little too low. It's not that he is cold-blooded, but Lin Youyu is lucky. The initial landing location is relatively safe, but others are not as lucky as her. Some of them may even be killed as soon as they land on the ground. However, considering that these more than 100 people died in the area where they are located, that makes sense. In other areas, the death toll may be higher or lower. Fortunately, I'm lucky, Lin Youyu said thankfully. Immediately, she looked at the chat content of other people in the channel. It's getting dark, and I feel like there are some scary monsters wandering outside the safe zone. Can this safe zone really guarantee my safety? Damn it, I ran too far during the day, and I'm not even in the safe zone yet. I feel like something is chasing me from behind. I'm going to fight you guys who can leave the safe zone during the day. There are monsters all over my safe zone. I don't dare to go out at all. What's wrong with all the monsters? Is that difficult? There are also all the monsters outside my safe zone, but my initial hero is a B-level Tyrant Chieftain, so I killed them all easily. Wow, my initial hero is a piece of trash at E level and was even injured by a giant tiger during the day. I feel like I'm going to die. What should I do? Don't leave the safe zone after dark. Ciao. I almost died. The one upstairs, do you see what kind of monster is outside? This is very simple. After dark, the fierce beasts and wild beasts will become more violent, and their strength will double. In fact, the wild beasts are not bad. Even if they are violent, as long as your initial hero is not a rubbish like E level or F level, the initial hero of level D can still barely hold on for a while, but the fierce beast can't do it. A vicious beast? What is that? An upgraded version of a wild beast. I guess the beasts are just appetizers for us newcomers. Fierce beasts are common monsters in this battlefield of all races. Moreover, ferocious beasts have levels, although they still have no health bars. I have seen some ferocious beasts during the day. They are generally large and look scary. As for their levels, I have never seen any below level 10. I advise those of you who have drawn a starting hero below level B not to think about hunting beasts in the early stages. My level starting hero, Dragonblood Warrior, could only fight a level 10 beast to a draw at level 1, and in the end I couldn't kill it all, so it ran away. Fuck, it's an A-level boss. Is the beast so strong? Even the A-class heroes can't defeat it? In our area, it seems that no one has drawn an S-level initial hero. I haven't heard of it. Not to mention the initial hero, I haven't heard of anyone getting an S-level talent ability. It is possible that someone got the prize, but deliberately concealed it. This is the battlefield of all races, not Blue Star. Everyone's past identities are a thing of the past. Anyway, I will definitely not hide my incompetence. Is there a beast more terrifying than a wild beast? I didn't see it during the day. Lin Youyu looked at the content sent by everyone in the chat channel and couldn't help but be surprised. She thought the beast was scary enough. If it weren't for Brother Gu, she would definitely not be able to defeat those beasts by herself. If you want to kill a wild beast, you don't know how many times you have to die. Unexpectedly, the beasts were just a benefit given to newcomers in the battlefield of all races. The real wild monsters should be ferocious beasts, and the ferocious beasts are divided into levels, the lowest being level 10, which is simply not something that these newcomers to the battlefield of all races can deal with. Even those who drew the A-level initial hero couldn't beat him, let alone others. But there's not even one person in our area who has won an S-rank hero. Lin Youyu thought it was unlikely. The more likely possibility was that someone had won the lottery, but deliberately didn't say anything. For example, I drew an SSR level talent ability. But Lin Youyu only told this matter to Gu Shaoshang. But that was because Gu Shaoshang was her original hero, and the two sides had a relationship in which they would rise and fall together. But you can say this to other people. Lin Youyu didn't reveal a single word, so she felt that there must be other people like her. I also drew talents or initial heroes above S level, but I never showed them off. They're all a bunch of old fools. Lin Youyu curled his lips and muttered, "The barbecue is ready." Here, at this time, Gu Shaoshang also handed her a skewer of barbecue. "Thank you, Brother Gu," Lin Youyu shouted sweetly. Then he reached out to take the sizzling barbecue, blew on it, and took a small bite to taste it. In the end, I couldn't taste it yet, but I could feel the heat. It's so hot. Lin Youyu stuck out his tongue, quickly picked up a bottle of water beside him, opened it, and took a sip before he felt it was no longer hot. Don't be so anxious. Blow it for a while longer before eating. Gu Shaoshang couldn't help but laugh when he saw Lin Youyu, who looked a little silly and cute. Brother Gu, you look so good when you smile. Lin Youyu stared at Gu Shaoshang's face and said with a grin, Brother Gu, you should smile more often. Gu Shaoshang shook his head slightly and did not continue the topic. After a while, the roasted rabbit meat is almost dry. Lin Youyu took another small bite to taste it. After a moment, her eyes lit up. It's more delicious than I thought, she said with a look of surprise. Although it still can't be compared with the skewers I had on Blue Star before, it doesn't taste bad at all. Instead, it has a sweet taste. And the meat is also very tender and juicy, not dry at all. It doesn't taste like rabbit meat at all, more like chicken or meat from a chicken wing. Chapter 8. 2 people, 1 sleeping bag. Squeeze a little. Ch 8. Grilled meat with bread and mineral water on the side. Soon, Lin Youyu was full. Brother Gu, these are for you to eat. She stuffed the leftover food in her hands to Gu Shaoshang, then ran to the other side to make a sleeping bag. Gu Shaoshang felt that his appetite had grown after he had upgraded. Although the increase is not very obvious, I do eat a lot more than usual. A piece of bread and a big piece of grilled meat. I also drank half a 500 milliliters bottle of mineral water, but I felt like I was only 70% full. He ate most of the skewer of barbecue and half of the bread that Lin Youyu stuffed into his mouth, and drank the remaining half bottle of water. Only then did I feel about 80% full. At this time, Lin Youyu also made the sleeping bag. The gray-green sleeping bag looks quite delicate and feels thick and soft. The warmth-retaining effect should be as good as described in the introduction. But here comes the question. There were 2 of them, but only 1 sleeping bag. How to sleep? Lin Youyu obviously just reacted. She looked at the sleeping bag on the ground, then looked at Gu Shaoshang beside her. After hesitating for a while, he finally said, Brother Gu, why don't we squeeze in tonight? Gu Shaoshang glanced at her. To be honest, when he first saw Lin Youyu, his subconscious impression was that this was a rich lady who couldn't carry anything on her shoulders or hands and had a bit of princess syndrome. But in subsequent contacts, Gu Shaoshang gradually discovered that Lin Youyu was not what he initially thought. This girl can be playful and cute sometimes, but she'll also utter a few dirty words sometimes. She'll complain about the prairie wolves being skin and bones with little meat, and she'll laugh at the giant rabbits being so stupid that they don't even know how to run. But she did not have the princess syndrome that Gu Shaoshang thought she had. Even when asked to clean up the battlefield and collect the disemboweled corpses of wild beasts, she did not complain at all. I walked so much during the day, but I never said I was tired or wanted to take a rest. Gu Shaoshang was so sensible that he felt ashamed of his initial prejudice. Sure enough, the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, is absolutely true. And now, even though there was only 1 sleeping bag, Lin Youyu was willing to share it with him. Gu Shaoshang didn't think that Lin Youyu was a casual girl. The reason why she made such a decision must be the result of repeated consideration. No, you use the sleeping bag. I'll just make do by the campfire tonight. Gu Shaoshang shook his head and rejected Lin Youyu's proposal. The sleeping bag is so small that it would be very crowded for 2 people to sleep in it. Just because of the difference between men and women, Gu Shaoshang would not agree to it easily. No, it's cold at night. What if you catch a cold, Brother Gu? At this time, Lin Youyu changed his obedient appearance during the day, put his hands on his waist, and looked a bit aggressive. We are all digitized, and there is no such thing as a cold. Gu Shaoshang shook his head and said, It's better to be safe than sorry. Lin Youyu shook his head and said, Brother Gu, you are the only one among us who can fight. You can't expect me to fight monsters tomorrow, right? Can you bear it? As he spoke, Lin Youyu looked at Gu Shaoshang with a pitiful look. Gu Shaoshang, this woman is indeed a natural-born actress, and she is not affected by age at all. Although Gu Shaoshang knew that Lin Youyu was acting, his acting was so lifelike that he was actually somewhat persuaded. Seeing that Gu Shaoshang's attitude had softened, Lin Youyu quickly said, Brother Gu, you are a man. Show your manly demeanor and stop hesitating. Wow, this is a provocation, right? Xiaoyu, how old are you this year? Gu Shaoshang suddenly asked at this time. Lin Youyu blinked and replied, 18 years old. Speaking of which, I just had my birthday this month, and my parents gave me my first car as a birthday present. It's a pity that we were diverted to this place after only driving for a few days. Turns out you're an adult. Gu Shaoshang always thought that Lin Youyu was still an underage girl. After all, she doesn't look like an adult at all. If someone said she was 16 years old, or even 15 years old, Gu Shaoshang would believe it. Unexpectedly, he is older than I thought. Brother Gu, you're not worried that I'm underage, are you? Lin Youyu realized why Gu Shaoshang asked her about her age and said with a smile, Brother Gu, you really think a lot. We're just sharing a sleeping bag. Do you have any other ideas? As she spoke, she hugged herself deliberately, looking frightened. Gu Shaoshang turned his head away with a look of disgust. Go to bed. I have to get up early tomorrow. Seeing that Gu Shaoshang had compromised, Lin Youyu also jumped and followed him with a smile. Although it's not too late now. However, there were no nighttime entertainment activities on the battlefield of all races, and many people had to get up early the next day, so they chose to go to bed early. Lin Youyu had been tired for a long time after working hard for half a day. Gu Shaoshang is fine. After reaching 2 levels, I didn't feel too tired. The two of them squeezed into the sleeping bags, one on the left and one on the right, lying sideways with their backs facing each other. After a while, Brother Gu, are you asleep? Lin Youyu suddenly asked in a low voice. Not yet. Gu Shaoshang was studying his character panel. When he heard the voice, he responded, Brother Gu, what was the world like before I summoned you? Lin Youyu, who was also a little sleepless, asked curiously at this time. What was the world like before? This question is really difficult for Gu Shaoshang to answer, because he couldn't answer it all. After traveling through time, he received a box lunch on the spot and was then summoned to the battlefield of all races, where his body was reshaped. But what about the memory of when you first crossed over to that world? Gu Shaoshang really didn't have any at all. It's just a very ordinary world. Have you ever read martial arts novels? Gu Shaoshang thought about it and said, Yeah, I've seen it. Lin Youyu nodded and said, So, the world that Brother Gu lived in before was just like those martial arts novels? Similar, but not exactly the same. Gu Shaoshang didn't say anything definite. He didn't want to reveal the fact that he was a time traveler. That will be a secret that he will keep deep in his heart forever. Don't talk about me. What about you? You mentioned your parents before. Did they come to the 10,000 races battlefield like you? Gu Shaoshang didn't want to talk too much about himself. After all, the more he talked, the more mistakes he made. So he changed the subject and asked about Lin Youyu's situation. Yeah, but I can't contact him now. Lin Youyu's voice sounded a little muffled, as if he was deliberately suppressing his emotions. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Gu Shaoshang comforted. Yeah, I think so too. My parents are amazing. If they can survive, they will definitely be fine. Lin Youyu nodded vigorously at this time, and it seemed more like she was talking to herself. Let her believe that her parents are somewhere in the battlefield of all races and will be safe. Chapter 9. The Terrifying Night. Thousands of people died in one night. Ch 9. That night, countless blue star humans who came to the battlefield of all races for the first time suffered from insomnia. Some of them really couldn't sleep because they had too many things in their hearts, and all kinds of terrible thoughts kept emerging in their minds. While others cannot sleep even if they want to, they were unlucky enough to be thrown into a snowy environment, or it's a hot desert area. In short, these natural environments made it impossible for them to fall asleep. The next day, Gu Shaoshang woke up early in the morning when the sun just rose from the eastern horizon. When I opened my eyes, what came into view was a face that was not made up but was still pretty and lovely, with fair skin that seemed as delicate as a baby's, eyes that were tightly closed, and long eyelashes that were trembling slightly in the air. They were clearly sleeping back to back before falling asleep last night. But I don't know what's going on. When they woke up, they were facing each other. Gu Shaoshang had already seen that Lin Youyu was actually awake, which could be seen from her slightly trembling eyelashes, and the little girl's breathing was becoming heavier. Unless Gu Shaoshang was blind and deaf, it would be impossible for him not to see it. A rustling sound was heard. As a corner of the sleeping bag was opened, Gu Shaoshang came out of the sleeping bag first. He stood up and stretched. This sleeping bag is warm, but the space is too cramped. The two of them couldn't move their arms and legs when they slept, and when they woke up they felt their bodies had become much stiffer. After stretching his muscles, Gu Shaoshang turned around and sat down next to the campfire. I picked up some dry firewood nearby and added it to the campfire so that the campfire that had gone out in the middle of the night last night could be rekindled. Then, Gu Shaoshang stood up, picked up a bottle of mineral water beside him, and took a few sips. At this time, Lin Youyu, who was still lying in the sleeping bag, pretended to have just woken up, stretched lazily, and crawled out of the sleeping bag. "Good morning, Brother Gu." Lin Youyu greeted Gu Shaoshang with a grin. "Morning." Gu Shaoshang nodded and asked, "Would you like to have barbecue in the morning? Or just some bread?" "Bread. I don't really feel like eating grilled meat this morning." Lin Youyu took out 2 loaves of bread from his backpack and handed one to Gu Shaoshang. "Brother Gu, here you go." Gu Shaoshang reached out to take it, and the two sat by the campfire, using the heat from the burning fire to dispel the early morning chill, while eating bread and drinking mineral water. While eating breakfast, Lin Youyu also opened the regional chat channel. "See if everyone is up." Myriad Races Battlefield. Universe Zone 908874. Galaxy Zone 776. Blue Star Zone Channel 621. Number of survivors: 9, 995, 924/10, 000, 000. Open the regional channel. The first thing Lin Youyu saw was the number of survivors in the area. Why are there so many missing people all of a sudden? She looked at the number of survivors in surprise, which was almost 4,000 less than before she went to bed last night, and exclaimed, "What's wrong?" Gu Shaoshang turned to look at her and asked, "Brother Gu, a lot of people died in our area last night." Lin Youyu quickly told Gu Shaoshang about the situation. "When I checked before going to bed last night, there were less than 200 people dead. But now the death toll is almost 4,100. Brother Gu, what do you think is going on? Don't we all stay in the safe zone at night?" If so many people died during the day, Lin Youyu would at most think that those people were attacked by some terrible monster. After all, with a population of tens of millions, it is not impossible for a few hundred unlucky people to encounter this situation. But shouldn't everyone have stayed in the safe zone and rested last night? Why are there still so many deaths? Is it possible that the safe zone is not as safe as claimed? Is it still possible to encounter danger here? This made Lin Youyu very worried. "Brother Gu, do you think the safe zone is not as safe as we imagined?" Lin Youyu said worriedly. Hearing this, Gu Shaoshang frowned slightly and thought for a while, then said, "The safe zone should be absolutely safe. There is no need for the 10,000 races battlefield to lie about this." "But what about those who died?" Lin Youyu asked. "They must have left the safe zone on their own," Gu Shaoshang guessed. "Didn't you say yesterday that the environment in some people's safe zones was very bad? Those who were dropped into places like snowy mountains might freeze to death if they didn't have adequate warming measures. So these people may take the risk and find other places to spend the night. Isn't that dangerous?" Lin Youyu said, "It's very dangerous, but they have no choice." Gu Shaoshang said, "As for the other part of the people, there will always be some self-righteous idiots in this world." "You mean they went out to kill monsters at night?" Lin Youyu's surprised expression. "It is obviously impossible to understand the behavior of these people. Isn't this simply courting death?" Even though she was the chosen one with SSR talent, she would rather waste 100 resurrection opportunities of the day than run out to seek death last night. She knew she was going to die, but she was not a masochist. Even if she could be resurrected after death, the pain of the moment of death could not be erased. And these people, they don't have Lin Youyu's incredible talent, and they only have one life, but they still want to go out and seek death. What kind of idea is this? I don't understand. I can't guess. Lin Youyu looked at the regional channel. Really? A lot of people have been talking about the thousands of people who died last night. Some people also guessed how those people died. Some even speak from their own experience. I am one of those unlucky people who was thrown into the snowy mountain environment. Fortunately, when the 10,000 races battlefield was opened, I was on vacation in the Bear Country, so I was dressed warmly. Otherwise, with the temperature last night, I might have chosen to take the risk like those people. Isn't there a bonfire at the beginning? Didn't you use it? Yes, but the temperature in the snowy mountains is at least minus 20 degrees Celsius at night. Do you think a bonfire is omnipotent? You can build an igloo. The above person said it's easy, building an igloo with bare hands, and it has to be done within a few hours. Why don't you try it yourself? It's okay if it's just bad luck. It's just a matter of luck. But is there really someone stupid enough to go out and fight monsters in the middle of the night? Yesterday, during the day, I went out and met a foreigner who was deployed near me. The foreigner drew a B-level hero at the beginning. He said that his talent was also B-level. He was so arrogant. Guess what happened? He died last night. Fuck. B-level hero and B-level talent? Isn't it a waste to give it to such an idiot? Why am I so smart, but I only have a crappy E-level hero? Even my talent is D-level. Be content, my talent and initial hero are both E-level and I haven't said anything yet. F-class heroes are passing by, and I feel like they will be out of business after the novice protection period. Use the novice protection period to upgrade quickly. It is best to find a secluded cave or something like that as your shelter after the novice period. Although my initial hero is only D-level, it is very good at climbing trees. Yesterday, I found a very high tree hole as a shelter after the novice protection period ends. I feel like a lot of people will die after the novice protection period is over. If nothing unexpected happens, I should be one of them. Brother, don't say such discouraging words. We low-level heroes with low-level talents must work harder to survive. You guys should work hard. I'm lying down anyway. While the safe zone is still there, I plan to communicate more with my original hero. Communication? You'd better communicate seriously. Oh no, is this right? I don't know what your initial hero looks like, but mine is a pretty girl, but her skin is green. Green? Goblin bro. Fuck, you guys are really hungry. Chapter 10, level up again. See level bloodsucking. CH10 hiss. It's an eyesore. Lin Youyu quickly turned off the regional channel. I wanted to see if anyone had any useful information to share. As a result, these guys got on the highway while chatting. By the way, can the initial hero still be used like this? Lin Youyu couldn't help but secretly glance at Gu Shaoshang beside him. If it was brother Gu the next second, Lin Youyu quickly shook his head vigorously, trying to get rid of the dirty things in my mind. What's wrong with you? Gu Shaoshang looked at Lin Youyu with a puzzled look on his face, as he suddenly seemed to be possessed by an evil spirit. No, nothing. Lin Youyu looked away, feeling guilty, not daring to look at him. 2. It's all the fault of those idiots on the regional channels. Just have a good chat. Wouldn't it be nice to share more useful information? What the hell is going on the highway without saying anything? Gu Shaoshang looked at the strange Lin Youyu in confusion, then threw the empty packaging bag in his hand into the campfire, clapped his hands, and stood up. Have you finished eating? Gu Shaoshang asked. Lin Youyu nodded. She had a small appetite to begin with, so she couldn't eat any more after just a few bites. Let's go. Today's daytime will be longer than yesterday. Let's try to level up a few more times before the novice protection period ends. Gu Shaoshang said. He is currently at level 3, and the experience points required to reach level 4 are 50. Before dark last night, he had accumulated 28 experience points, leaving him with only 22 points to upgrade. By then, his blood-sucking talent can also be upgraded to C-level. C-level talent is not bad at all. Gu Shaoshang's ultimate goal today is to reach level 10. In this way, he can gain a new talent. By then you will have 3 talents. I hope there will be a talent that increases my lethality. Gu Shaoshang thought to himself, coming out of the safe zone and climbing over a dirt slope. What came into view was a devastated scene. Although prairie wolves could be seen hunting giant rabbits from time to time in the wilderness yesterday, the overall feeling was quite peaceful. It's not the kind of dangerous environment that makes people feel scared at first glance. But one night passed. The side where the safe zone is located is fine, because it is small and it was a cliff in the past. But the side after climbing over the slope has become devastated. The grass everywhere was full of potholes, and some places even had charred marks. Broken limbs and arms can be seen everywhere, and the scene is covered in blood. Lin Youyu is a girl after all. Seeing this scene, she subconsciously leaned towards Gu Shaoshang, and her little hands tightly grasped Gu Shaoshang's clothes. "Brother Gu, why has this place become like this?" Lin Youyu said nervously. Gu Shaoshang shook his head and looked further away. Fortunately, he could still see some prairie wolves moving around on the grass, but their number was much less than yesterday. God knows what kind of terrible killing happened here last night. Fortunately, neither he nor Lin Youyu are the kind of blindly arrogant people. Otherwise, Lin Youyu would not have died. After all, 100 resurrections a day are no joke. But as for Gu Shaoshang himself, it's hard to say. Continuing to move forward, the two carefully observed any movement around them along the way. When passing by some bushes, Lin Youyu will stop and use the gathering skill to collect them, harvesting some fiber and berries. At this moment, the ground in front suddenly rose high. Then a rabbit head broke out from the ground and crawled out. 1, 2, 3, 5 giant rabbits in total came out of the cave. Swish! A sword light flew over. A sword pierced through the body of one of the giant rabbits. One hand grasped the hilt of the sword and pulled it out, causing blood to spurt out. Chirp! The other giant rabbits immediately pounced over with red eyes. Gu Shaoshang dodged the attacks of the giant rabbits while swinging his sword to cause damage to them again and again. For some attacks that he couldn't avoid, Gu Shaoshang would just take them head-on. With 7 points of physical defense, Gu Shaoshang would only lose 2 points of health even if he was hit head-on by these giant rabbits. He just took a breath to absorb this little bit of health. So later on, Gu Shaoshang didn't even bother to hide. After a while, 5 giant rabbits were killed. Then look at Gu Shaoshang's health value. Surprisingly, not a single bit fell off. Experience +3. The 5 giant rabbits brought Gu Shaoshang 15 experience points. We are only 7 points away from upgrading again. At this time, Lin Youyu ran over and used the collection skill on the corpses of the 5 giant rabbits on the ground. A pile of rabbit meat and fur was collected. 10 minutes later, plop, along with the body of a prairie wolf fell. A faint golden light also flashed across Gu Shaoshang's body. Upgraded. Innate ability, blood-sucking. Blood-sucking. See, each time an attack causes effective damage, it can restore 2% of its upper limit of health. The talent level has been raised again. And this time, the effect has changed a lot from before. 2-stage slash. 2 cross sword lights slash down. The last prairie wolf was also killed by Gu Shaoshang's sword. Experience +3. Before upgrading, killing a prairie wolf can bring Gu Shaoshang 5 experience points. But after reaching level 4, the experience points given by a prairie wolf are reduced to 3 points. Unknown swordsman qualification, F level, level 4 experience value, 6/100 health, 80/80 mana, 60/80ths strength, 9 constitution, 8 agility, 9 spirit, 8 physical defense, 8 elemental resistance, 8 attack speed, 1.09/second, fastest moving speed, 5.9 m/s, critical hit, 150% innate ability, blood-sucking, Chapter 11B grade blood-sucking. Fighting style is getting more and more brutal. CH11. It can be seen that after reaching level 4, even a hero with F-level qualifications like Gu Shaoshang needs 100 experience points to upgrade again. It has basically reached the standard of being synchronized with a level 1 state of humans on Blue Planet. Certainly, this standard is the C-level standard among heroes. But the total attribute of a C-level hero increases by +4 per level, which is far from the +1 for Gu Shaoshang, who has F-level qualifications. The difference is 4 times, not to mention the B-level and even A-level ones above. The gap is even bigger. The humans on Blue Star, in their initial state, have the growth standards equivalent to those of C-class heroes. That means all attributes +4 at each level. Therefore, as long as Lin Youyu reaches level 3, he can surpass Gu Shaoshang in terms of attributes alone. But she needs a total of 300 experience points to reach level 3. Gu Shaoshang has advanced from level 1 to the current level 4 with only 90 experience points in total. It's not even a little bit worse. It was around 6:30 in the morning when Gu Shaoshang and his friends came out of the safe zone. It starts at 6:30 and ends around 11 o'clock noon. In 3.5 hours, Gu Shaoshang and Lin Youyu had reached an area at least 5 kilometers away from the safe zone. Most of the time along the way was spent rushing and looking for monsters. The time spent actually killing monsters is actually relatively short. Even so, Gu Shaoshang has also accumulated the 100 experience points required to upgrade from level 4 to level 5. Not only has his level been successfully upgraded to level 5, but he has also accumulated more than half of the experience points required to reach level 5. Unknown Swordsman, qualification, F level 5, experience value, 120/200. After reaching level 5, the experience value increases by 100 points. Now, killing a giant rabbit only gives 1 experience point. Therefore, Gu Shaoshang basically won't take the initiative to kill those giant rabbits now, as it is a thankless task. As for the prairie wolf, there are still 3 experience points. I encountered 4 or 5 of them appearing together. You can get more than 10 experience points if you kill them all. And the farther away from the safe zone, the denser the distribution of prairie wolves. There were even cases of more than 10 prairie wolves gathering together. Fortunately, Gu Shaoshang's strength is much stronger than before. The attribute increase brought by the upgrade is secondary, and the main thing is the improvement of talent ability. Innate ability, blood-sucking. Blood-sucking, each time an attack causes effective damage. It can restore 5% of its upper limit of health. After his blood-sucking talent was upgraded to level B, Gu Shaoshang could absorb back 4.5 health points with each sword. According to his current attack frequency of 1.1 times per second, he can absorb back 49.5 health points in 10 seconds, which is more than half of his upper limit. The prairie wolf's attack could only cause 2 or 3 points of damage to Gu Shaoshang. Even if he faced 10 prairie wolves at once, it was impossible for them to attack Gu Shaoshang at the same time. The actual situation was that Gu Shaoshang had to endure about 5 points of damage per second. This damage is basically the same as his blood-sucking efficiency. Killing any one of the prairie wolves can bring the two to the same level. Therefore, when Gu Shaoshang sees a prairie wolf now, he basically rushes straight up. There is no need to launch sneak attacks like yesterday. Brother Gu, we spotted a big bad wolf ahead. Gu Shaoshang had just killed a group of 6 prairie wolves that had gathered together and gained another 18 experience points. Before he could shake off the wolf blood on his black scabbard sword, he saw Lin Youyu running towards him happily, pointing to a small mound on the left. Okay, I'll go over now, you clean this side. Gu Shaoshang nodded, then ran without stopping in the direction Lin Youyu pointed. Lin Youyu stayed behind to clean up the battlefield and collect the corpses of the prairie wolves. By the way, the big bad wolf that Lin Youyu mentioned is the prairie wolf, but she just likes to call it the big bad wolf. Go over the small dirt slope. Gu Shaoshang indeed saw the group of prairie wolves that Lin Youyu had mentioned. There were a total of 8 prairie wolves lying on the grass, and some rabbit hair and giant rabbit bones could be seen around them. 8 heads. That means 24 experience points. Gu Shaoshang's eyes lit up. In fact, with his current strength, if he hadn't spent more time looking for monsters, he might have reached level 6 or even level 7 by now. That's why Gu Shaoshang was so happy when he saw a group of 8 prairie wolves gathered together. With one more level up, his blood-sucking talent would be able to rise to A-level. A-level talents are only possessed by heroes with A-level qualifications, and Gu Shaoshang is just a hero with F-level qualifications. Even if this cannot raise his strength to the same standard as other A-class heroes, but at least it can narrow the gap a little. Swish! At this time, Gu Shaoshang jumped down from the slope and quickly ran towards the wolf pack over there. Gu Shaoshang, who is at level 5, has a maximum movement speed of 6 meters per second. The distance between the two was more than 100 meters, and Gu Shaoshang crossed it in only about 20 seconds. At this time, the wolves that were originally resting also stood up one after another. He bared his teeth and looked ferocious. He let out a warning growl at Gu Shaoshang, who was rushing towards him. But Gu Shaoshang ignored the warnings of the prairie wolves and rushed forward. With an extremely fast 2-stage slash, he severely injured the prairie wolf in front of him. Seeing that the human opposite had hurt their companion, the other 7 prairie wolves rushed forward with roars. Gu Shaoshang was too lazy to hide. The damage of the 7 prairie wolves is not as high as his blood-sucking recovery. He just needs to avoid some vital parts, such as the neck, face, and genitals. For other attacks, just use your arms to block them. The arm muscles that were torn apart just a second ago, the next second Gu Shaoshang directly absorbed the lost health points with one sword. The wound healed miraculously. 1 minute later, the battle is over. There were 8 prairie wolf corpses lying on the ground in a disorderly manner. Apart from the fact that his clothes were stained with wolf blood, Gu Shaoshang did not look injured at all. The white swordsman robe he wore at the beginning was also magical. Every time a torn place is torn, it will be quickly repaired to its original state as time goes by. So even though this piece of clothing does not have any attribute amplification effect, but Gu Shaoshang still likes it very much. Otherwise, during the battle, Gu Shaoshang had to be careful to protect his clothes from being damaged. Otherwise, after a few battles, his clothes would become beggar's clothes. How else to wear it? Chapter 12, The Fierce Jungle Tiger. Brother Gu, I said I can protect you. CH 12, experience plus 24. Gu Shaoshang glanced at the current experience value of level 5. After dealing with this group of prairie wolves, the current experience value has reached 162 points. Only 38 points are left to reach level 6. It's just about 13 prairie wolves. If he is lucky, Gu Shaoshang will be able to upgrade again in less than 20 or 30 minutes. Brother Gu, be careful. Just when Gu Shaoshang was still immersed in the joy of the upcoming upgrade, Lin Youyu's exclamation suddenly came from behind him. The next second, a gust of evil wind blew. Gu Shaoshang subconsciously raised his sword to block. Bang! A huge force instantly knocked him away. Gu Shaoshang almost flew into the air, and after landing, he took several steps back before stopping. The health value plummeted by a full 10 points. Roar! With a roar, a giant tiger was seen rushing out from the forest not far away. Just now, Gu Shaoshang was slapped away by the claw of this giant tiger. Even with the blocking of the black scabbard sword, he still lost 10 health points. If this hits him directly, he would probably lose at least 20 health points. What a huge tiger! Gu Shaoshang looked at the giant tiger in surprise, and the next second his eyes suddenly became solemn. The giant tiger in front of me has a body length of nearly 3.5 meters, not counting its tail, and a shoulder height of about 1.5 meters. It's almost taller than Lin Youyu. Standing in front of him, just the feeling of oppression made Gu Shaoshang's breathing become heavy. This guy is much stronger than any prairie wolf. If he hadn't seen the level information, Gu Shaoshang would have thought that he had encountered the ferocious beast that Lin Youyu had mentioned. But it's so scary even though it's not a ferocious beast. Is it really hard to imagine how terrifying those real ferocious beasts are? Roar! The giant tiger in front of him let out another angry roar, and then suddenly pounced towards Gu Shaoshang. The giant tiger is faster than Gu Shaoshang, not to mention its attack power, which is obviously much stronger than Gu Shaoshang. Fortunately, the distance between the two was not very close. Gu Shaoshang made a predicted move and dodged the moment the opponent pounced on him. At the same time, the black-sheathed, long sword in his hand instantly slashed out in 2 sections. The cross-shaped sword light slashed on the giant tiger's body. It caused a splash of blood. Good news, the damage works. Bad news, Gu Shaoshang forgot that the tiger's tail is also one of its main means of attack. A black shadow attacked. Gu Shaoshang raised his arms to block in front of him, and then the whole person was knocked away in an instant. Roar! The giant tiger swept the human in front of it away with its tail and pounced on him the next second. The bloody mouth opened and headed straight for Gu Shaoshang's neck. If this bite hits, Gu Shaoshang will probably lose half his life. Brother Gu, I'm here to save you. At this time, Lin Youyu, running over with his short legs, finally arrived at the scene. She held the cheap dagger in one hand and rushed forward fearlessly. She grabbed one of the tiger's hind legs and stabbed it directly. The embarrassing thing is that the inferior dagger is too blunt, even though it has the strength +1 attribute. But Lin Youyu himself only has 1 point of strength. With one cut, only a handful of hair from the giant tiger was shaved off. The next second, bang, a small figure flew out. Lin Youyu was slapped away by the enraged giant tiger's claw, and his only 10 health points were emptied in an instant. Little fish. Gu Shaoshang was instantly furious when he saw this scene. Even though he knew that Lin Youyu could be resurrected 100 times a day, when he saw Lin Youyu being killed by a single claw of the giant tiger, he couldn't help but feel a surge of anger rushing into his brain. The next second, Gu Shaoshang rushed forward instantly. While Lin Youyu had bought him the opportunity to attack with his own life, he used 2 lightning-fast 2-stage slashes to strike the giant tiger. One of the swords even directly scratched one of its eyes. This time, the giant tiger was instantly severely injured. Although the black-sheathed longsword does not have any attribute enhancements, its sharpness is quite high. In addition, Gu Shaoshang has reached a strength attribute of 10 points. These 2 double slashes caused the giant tiger to howl in pain. Go to hell! Gu Shaoshang poured all his anger on the giant tiger. At the cost of having one of his arms crippled by the giant tiger, he stabbed its neck with his sword. Phew! The black-sheathed sword was drawn out, and the large amount of blood that came out instantly dyed a large area of the surrounding ground red. The giant tiger that had been so majestic just now was now staggering backwards. After its huge body shook a few times, it fell heavily to the ground with a bang. Gu Shaoshang quickly rushed forward and struck again with the sword. This is how he completely killed this big guy. Ouch! It hurts! At this time, Lin Youyu, who had died for the first time in the distance, also got up from the ground, reached out and touched his belly, and through the clothes that were torn by the tiger's claws, he could see his smooth and white skin. After not seeing any injuries or scars, Lin Youyu breathed a sigh of relief. Xiaoyu, how do you feel? At this time, Gu Shaoshang also ran over and asked with concern. Brother Gu, I'm fine. Lin Youyu smiled, raised her head, and looked at Gu Shaoshang, shook her head, and said, Look, there are no scars left. She pointed to her belly. Lin Youyu's clothes were brought from Blue Star by her. They did not have the magical self-repair function like the white swordsman robe on Gu Shaoshang. At this moment, there were several cuts on the abdomen caused by the tiger's claws, and the fair skin inside could be clearly seen. There was indeed no scar on it. There wasn't even a trace of blood. It seems to have been refreshed. Brother Gu, was I super brave just now? Lin Youyu said with a smile at this time. He looked at Gu Shaoshang with a smug expression on his little face. Well, Xiaoyu is very brave. Gu Shaoshang smiled and stretched out his hand to ruffle Lin Youyu's hair, praising her generously. Hee, I told you, I can protect you, Brother Gu. Lin Youyu said happily with a smile. Yes, this time it's thanks to you, Xiaoyu, or the situation would be dangerous. Gu Shaoshang nodded and said, this time it was really thanks to Lin Youyu's help, which not only gave him an excellent opportunity to escape, but also helped him avoid a fatal attack. Brother Gu, is the big tiger dead? Lin Youyu also asked curiously at this time. Well, dead. Gu Shaoshang nodded and said. Hearing this, Lin Youyu's eyes immediately lit up, and he ran over, looking at the giant tiger in front of him that exuded a terrifying aura even though it was dead. Lin Youyu first kicked it a few times angrily, then took out the survival manual and opened the biological encyclopedia to check. It turns out that the big tiger is called the forest tiger. What a common name. Lin Youyu curled his lips, then used his gathering skills to decompose the forest tiger in front of him into a pile of tiger meat, tiger bones, tiger skin, and other materials. Chapter 13, Jungle Tiger Ancestor. Bronze Treasure Chest. Nameless Long Sword. Tiger Skin Battle Armor Drawing. CH13. A forest tiger brought Gu Shaoshang a full 20 experience points. It can be seen from this that this big guy is definitely not something that can be scammed like a prairie wolf. Among wild animals, the forest tiger should be one of the top predators. With 18 experience points left to level up, Gu Shaoshang had planned to continue on his journey to look for other prairie wolf packs. But Lin Youyu said he wanted to go to the grove where the forest tiger came from. It was a small forest several hundred meters in radius. It is totally different from the dense forest in the distance where there are what appear to be giant redwood trees. After entering the grove, they saw an obvious trail of trampling. Following this trail deeper into the grove, they soon arrived at the forest tiger's lair. There are piles of bones here. There are prairie wolves and giant rabbits. There are so many of them that they are piled up like a tall hill. Brother Gu, look. At this moment, Lin Youyu also discovered something and immediately ran over with his eyes brightened. After a while, she walked out of the forest tiger's lair dragging a bronze treasure chest. Another treasure chest, and this time it was a bronze treasure chest, one level higher than yesterday's black iron treasure chest. Brother Gu, please look at this treasure chest first. There are some good things inside. Lin Youyu put down the treasure chest, then turned around and ran into the forest tiger's lair. After a while, she ran out with a bunch of things in her arms. Brother Gu, look what good stuff I found. She put down the pile of things in her hand as if she were offering a treasure. There are some weapons and equipment, as well as some jewelry and other things. But most of them are broken. For example, there was a sword with only half of the blade left. Broken long sword. White. Strength +1. The broken sword is only of white quality, but if it is in good condition, it should be a green quality sword. At this time, the black-sheathed sword on Gu Shaoshang's waist suddenly shook slightly. Gu Shaoshang lowered his head and looked at his sword in confusion. Reaching out and grasping the hilt of the black-sheathed sword, Gu Shaoshang seemed to feel that it was conveying some emotion to him. I mean, want to eat? Eat? Is it this broken sword? Gu Shaoshang looked at the broken sword on the ground in confusion. The next second, he drew out the black-sheathed, long sword from his waist and placed the tip of the sword on the broken sword on the ground. I saw a white light shining from the broken sword, and then spreading along the sword body to the black-sheathed long sword in Gu Shaoshang's hand. Moment, the light faded. Snap! The broken sword on the ground shattered into pieces. You really ate it? Gu Shaoshang looked at the black-sheathed sword in his hand in surprise. For the first time, he felt that his sword was also extraordinary. Brother Gu, your sword has attributes. At this moment, Lin Youyu's exclamation reminded him. Gu Shaoshang quickly checked the information of his sword. Nameless long sword. White. Strength +1. Introduction. An unknown long sword that seems to be hiding some secrets. Not only are there attributes, but there are also marks of quality. The previous black-sheathed long sword had nothing. It's just like the white swordsman robe that Gu Shaoshang is wearing, or even worse than a swordsman robe. At least the swordsman's robe has a magical function of self-repair. And now, Gu Shaoshang just then discovered that the black-sheathed long sword that he had brought with him from the very beginning seemed to be extraordinary. It can actually devour other swords and then strengthen itself. There were a few broken swords among the pile of things that Lin Youyu had just brought out, but for some reason, the black-sheathed swords seemed to have no interest in them. Even when Gu Shaoshang deliberately touched these broken swords with the tip of the sword, there was no reaction. Does it require a higher quality sword? Gu Shaoshang guessed in his heart. In addition to the broken sword, there were some useful things among the pile of things Lin Youyu took out from the forest tiger's lair. For example, a rusty long knife, an axe with a missing corner, and so on. They are basically weapons. There are also some jewels, but these things are of no use in the battlefield of all races. Put them in a box together later. Gu Shaoshang said, just because you don't have it now doesn't mean it won't be useful in the future. Anyway, just put it away first. It won't take much effort. Lin Youyu also nodded in agreement. Who doesn't pick up some junk while playing games, right? At this moment, both of their eyes fell on the biggest gain of the day, the bronze treasure chest. Xiao Yu, you open it. Gu Shaoshang placed the bronze treasure chest in front of Lin Youyu and asked her to open it. He believed in Lin Youyu's luck. Well, I love unboxing the best. Lin Youyu smiled and nodded, then rubbed her hands together and prayed silently in her heart. Open. As the lid of the bronze treasure chest was opened, a white light mixed with several green and blue lights suddenly lit up. After a while, the light faded. Ding! You got 500 milliliters mineral water 10. You got beef burger 6. You got 150G packaged fruit-flavored lollipops 5. You obtained a high-quality short sword green 1. You obtained a primary skill upgrade stone green. And you obtained the tiger skin armor blueprint blue. 1-6 reminder sounded. Lin Youyu stared at the bronze treasure chest filled with supplies with shining eyes. First is the only blue quality blueprint. There's only a very small chance that a bronze treasure chest will contain blue quality items. But in front of Lin Youyu, what probability? Doesn't exist. Tiger skin armor drawing quality. Blue. Learn how to make tiger skin armor. But first you need tiger skin. Tiger skin? I just happened to collect one from that forest tiger. Lin Youyu directly chose to study. The blue quality tiger skin armor blueprint in her hand instantly turned into a blue light and sank into her body. Take out the survival manual and turn to the page about making modules. Tiger skin armor quality. Blue. Require materials. High quality tiger skin 0/1. Fur 0/50. Metal 0/10. Fiber 0/50. Animal fat 0/30. Can it be made? Gu Shaoshang looked at Lin Youyu and asked. Hearing this, Lin Youyu shook his head and said, No, we have everything else, but we don't have metal. Metal? Gu Shaoshang looked down at the bronze treasure chest at his feet. Can treasure chests be collected? He asked. It seems so. Lin Youyu's eyes lit up, and he was about to disassemble the bronze treasure chest in front of him. Wait a moment, this treasure chest is still useful. It won't be too late to disassemble it after we return to the safe zone. Gu Shaoshang stopped her quickly. If they dismantled the bronze treasure chest now, how would they take all the supplies back later? Some of them could fit into Lin Youyu's backpack. But the 6-grid backpack space is not enough. By then, I will inevitably have to carry it back with my hands, which is too troublesome. Chapter 14 Second Level Second Stage / 6th Level. A level blood-sucking talent. CH14. Well, Brother Gu, you are right. Lin Youyu slapped her forehead and stuck out her tongue. She was so eager to make the tiger skin armor that she didn't even consider how to take the contents of the bronze treasure chest back after disassembling it. Since it was not possible to make tiger skin armor for the time being, Lin Youyu put away the survival manual in his hand. Then, the two of them looked at the other things in the treasure chest together. 10 bottles of mineral water were placed at the bottom, neatly stacked in 2 rows. On top are 6 beef burgers. Lin Youyu picked up one and opened it, and found that it was still hot. It just so happened that she and Gu Shaoshang had not had lunch yet. Each of these 6 beef burgers was stuffed with 2 large beef patties. Lin Youyu doubted that he could not finish such a burger. Brother Gu, give it to me. Lin Youyu handed Gu Shaoshang a beef burger and then picked up a bag of lollipops next to him. There are 5 bags of 150G lollipops. There are 10 sticks in a bag. 5 bags means 50 sticks. Enough to last for quite a while. Brother Gu, do you want some candy? Lin Youyu opened a package, took out a stick, looked up, and asked Gu Shaoshang if he wanted to eat it. No, you eat it. Gu Shaoshang shook his head. He was not very interested in the lollipop. In contrast, the steaming beef burger in my hand looks delicious. The ingredients of a beef burger are not complicated. 2 beef patties, cheese slices, lettuce, tomato slices, and pickles are all there is. Certainly, there are 2 soft slices of bread on the outside, which look quite big. As soon as he took a bite, the juice flowed out, sour, sweet, salty, and fragrant. The rich taste whetted his appetite. At this time, Lin Youyu also picked up a short knife from the treasure chest. The short sword is about 40 centimeters long. It is a straight blade knife with a white sheath. It looks much more advanced than the one in Lin Youyu's hand. High-quality short knife quality. Green, strength +2, agility +1. It is indeed a green quality weapon. The properties are indeed much better than the inferior white dagger. Brother Gu, is this knife useful to you? Lin Youyu handed the dagger to Gu Shaoshang and asked. Gu Shaoshang felt it, but the black-sheathed sword did not react at all. Clearly not interested in the knife. So he shook his head. My sword should only react to swords of the same type. You can use this knife for self-defense. Gu Shaoshang said, I see. It's quite picky about food. Lin Youyu grinned and nodded, then excitedly took the new short knife and started to practice with it. Like a kid who just got a new toy. Played for a while, Lin Youyu also put the dagger aside and picked up the most inconspicuous thing in the treasure chest. A stone, a blue stone with white patterns. The stone is about the size of quail egg. If it is thrown into the corner of the treasure chest, it can easily be overlooked. Primary skill upgrade stone, quality, green, can improve the level of skills below green quality. A stone that can increase skill levels. Lin Youyu looked at the skill upgrade stone curiously. The small stone looked nothing special, a bit like the pebbles that can be found everywhere. Brother Gu, this is for you too. Lin Youyu handed the skill upgrade stone in her hand to Gu Shaoshang. She had not learned any skills, so this stone was of no use to her. Gu Shaoshang didn't bother to be polite with Lin Youyu. The two of them have a relationship where they prosper together and fall together. If Gu Shaoshang can become stronger, it will also be a boost in Lin Youyu's strength. Take the skill upgrade stone. As soon as he got the stone, Gu Shaoshang opened his character panel. In the skill column on the panel, his only skill at this time, double slash, was flashing with bright golden light, and a golden plus sign appeared behind the skill. He lightly tapped the plus sign that was flashing with golden light with his mind. The next second, the primary skill upgrade stone in Gu Shaoshang's hand instantly turned into a green light and disappeared. Ding, your skills have been upgraded. 2-stage slash white LV.2 consumes 10 mana points, attacks the target twice at an extremely fast speed, each time causing physical damage of 70% of its own attack power. The upgraded double slash skill increases damage by 20%, while the cost remains unchanged. Overall, the changes are not big. After all, it's just a white quality skill. Can't expect too much. In the grove, Gu Shaoshang took Lin Youyu around for a round trip, and only after making sure that there was nothing else did they leave the grove. Brother Gu, I can't eat anymore. Lin Youyu held the half-eaten beef burger in his hand and looked at Gu Shaoshang pitifully. Give it to me. Gu Shaoshang reached out and took the half-beef burger from her. It just so happened that he had just eaten a beef burger and was still a little hungry. By the time you finish eating the half in your hand, it will be almost done. As for whether Lin Youyu has eaten the hamburger, Gu Shaoshang didn't mind it much. Afternoon, the two continued to head east. At about 12:30 in the afternoon, Gu Shaoshang discovered another group of prairie wolves. 7 of them gathered together. He asked Lin Youyu to stay where she was, and then he rushed forward alone. With the previous experience of fighting with forest tigers, when facing these prairie wolves, Gu Shaoshang suddenly felt like he was bullying the weak. Although this did not stop him from letting the prairie wolves go. Killing all 7 prairie wolves will bring Gu Shaoshang 21 experience points. But in fact, Gu Shaoshang only got 19 points. Because when the 7th prairie wolf died, Gu Shaoshang had already been upgraded. Then you can only get 1 experience point by killing these prairie wolves again. Unknown Swordsman qualification, F level, level 6, experience value, 1/300 health, 100 mana, 80/100 strength, 11 constitution, 10 agility, 11 spirit, 10 physical defense, 10 elemental resistance, 10 attack speed, 1.11/second, fastest moving speed, 6.1 meters per second, critical hit, 150%, innate ability, blood sucking, each time you attack and inflict effective damage, you can recover 10% of your maximum health. Talent, hidden endless talent, each time you level up, your talent level increases by 1. You get a new talent every 10 levels. Skill, double slash white, LV.2, 2-stage slash white, LV.2. Consumes 10 mana points, attacks the target twice at an extremely fast speed, each time causing physical damage of 70% of its own attack power. After reaching level 6, the experience points required to upgrade again increased by 100 points. The good news is that it didn't double. The bad news is no longer cost-effective to kill prairie wolves anymore. Each one gives only 1 experience point. Gu Shaoshang needs to kill another 299 prairie wolves before he can reach level 7. This is too slow. Fortunately, Gu Shaoshang's blood-sucking talent was upgraded to A-level talent, as his level was upgraded again. One sword absorbs 10% of blood. What he sucked was 10% of Gu Shaoshang's upper limit of health. That is to say, his health bar is low now, as long as he has a health value of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. That means one sword can absorb thousands or tens of thousands. Full of security. Chapter 15 Mini, Jungle Tiger. Finally, level 7. Powerful S-level talent. CH15. S7 SAS 20% 1% SSR. Chapter 16 F-level heroes are very weak. Tiger Skin Battle Armor. CH16. Around 5 p.m., before dark, Gu Shaoshang and Lin Youyu finally returned to the safe zone. At this time, the sun above the western sea level was almost completely invisible, and only the afterglow of the evening was still bringing some light to the world. Wait for about 10 minutes. The whole world fell into darkness. Night has fallen. This is the second night after the humans from Blue Star arrived on the battlefield of all races. It was also the last relatively safe night. Starting tomorrow, the novice protection period will end and the safe zone will be canceled. Even if you use your but to think, you know that many people will die tomorrow night. Xiaoyu, how many people are still alive in this area now? Gu Shaoshang sat down on a rock, processing the giant rabbit meat and roasting it on the fire, while curiously asking how many people had died throughout the day. Although in theory no one will die during the novice protection period. As long as everyone stays in the safe zone and doesn't come out, everything will be fine. It's only 48 hours. You won't starve to death. But the reality is, unless you are a fool, how could you hide in the safe zone and not come out? If that happens, tens of billions of humans on the blue planet will probably die in 48 hours. Then the race that reached the top at the speed of light and was eliminated the fastest? The humans of Blue Star instantly became famous on the battlefield of all races. Unfortunately, that would only lead to bad reputation. Let me take a look. Lin Youyu quickly opened the regional chat channel and looked at the number of people in stock. Number of survivors, 9, 991, 704/10, 000. More than 4,000 people died during the day. Lin Yu took a look and replied. Hearing this, Gu Shaoshang nodded slightly. More than 4,000 people died in one day. It's just not bad. Everyone is still relatively cautious. In fact, there are very few people who really like to commit suicide. Among the more than 4,000 people who died, most of them died in various accidents. Instead of letting your own blind arrogance bring about your own death. Similar to the male forest tiger that Gu Shaoshang and his friends encountered during the day, if it weren't for Lin Youyu, Gu Shaoshang would also have been in danger. Even if Lin Youyu didn't have the SSR level immortality talent. Both of them are definitely dead today. After all, once Lin Youyu died, Gu Shaoshang would be thrown back and return to his original state of being dead. It is no exaggeration to say that it is 2 lives lost for 1 corpse. While Gu Shaoshang was still preparing dinner, Lin Youyu was curiously watching the chat content in the regional chat channel. Compared to yesterday's atmosphere, today's atmosphere is obviously much more solemn. Everyone is worried about the novice protection period that is about to end. Some people who have not yet found a suitable location for a new camp are extremely anxious at this time. But there's no use being anxious. Being anxious will not solve the problem. It will only make you lose the ability to think calmly. Lin Youyu thought so in his heart, but soon she felt that it was a bit difficult for her ways to stand and talk without any pain. After all, her situation could be said to be the best in their area. No doubt about it. Powerful initial talent. A perfect place to start. Even if he seemed to be the worst initial hero, it turns out that even an F-level hero has his shining points. Everyone is so miserable. Luckily, it wasn't me. Lin Youyu thought thankfully. Although it was a bit bad to think this way, it was indeed what she really thought. Who wants to be the unlucky one? Brothers, how are you going to spend this evening? How to survive? Sleep. How else can I survive? I plan to give it one last try. Otherwise, I will die once the novice protection period is over tomorrow. It is better to experience the night environment in advance and adapt to it while the safe zone is still there. The one above, Are there no ferocious beasts near your drop point? I have never seen a ferocious beast. What the hell are you talking about? There are no ferocious beasts around, so you can definitely fight. But for someone like me who has a lot of ferocious beasts around, running out in the middle of the night is simply courting death, 100% sure to die. Where are the A-level bosses in our area? How are everyone developing? My initial hero is only level 2 now. Too miserable. The initial hero is level 5. Level 5? Your initial hero is not of E or even F rank, right? Is there any explanation here? Let me tell you, the lower the aptitude of the hero, the less experience points are needed to upgrade at the beginning. The initial experience points required by humans on Blue Star are basically the same as those of C-level heroes. For D level, it seems to be 70 points, and for E level, it seems to be 50 points. As for F level, I'm not sure. Don't say that, big guy. I'm just an F-level hero. I really don't have much experience points to level up. It only takes 10 points to level up from level 1 to level 2, but it's really useless. Upgrading with 10 points? Ciao. Isn't this too easy? I don't know why you think it's easy. What are the 4 attributes of your initial hero? My F-level hero has only 2 attributes of 6 points, and the other 2 are 5 points. The initial skills are also white quality, which is rubbish. 5 points? 6 points? My C-level hero, level 1 attributes are 215 and 218, and now he has barely reached level 3. C-class heroes are pretty good, much better than my D-class. What about the A-level boss? Can you tell me about the hero's initial attributes? Do you like being humiliated so much? If you don't, we can still chat together. I'll do it. A friend of mine's initial hero is A-level. His initial hero strength and physique are both 50 points, and his spirit and agility are 40 points. He is very strong. Fuck. My E-rank hero doesn't have this attribute, even if it reaches level 20. Ciao. This shitty battlefield of all races is so fucking unfair. Why is my initial hero an F-level one? I'm tired, let's destroy it. Are F-class heroes weak? Lin Youyu looked at everyone's comments in the chat channel and couldn't help but glance at Gu Shaoshang, who was sitting by the campfire and grilling meat. Why does it feel like the F-class hero they're talking about is completely not on the same level as her brother Gu? Little fish, the meat is ready. We can have dinner. At this time, Gu Shaoshang also called out to Lin Youyu. Ask her to come over for dinner. Here it comes. Lin Youyu ran over quickly. I washed my hands with the clean water I had fetched from a small lake during the day. Then the two of them sat by the campfire and started today's dinner. Lin Youyu has a good appetite today. I finished the whole skewer of barbecue and also ate half a piece of bread. After dinner, Lin Youyu began to take out materials one by one, preparing to make the tiger skin armor first. Gu Shaoshang was standing by and watching at this time. He was also curious about what the attributes of the blue quality tiger skin armor would be. Chapter 17 Wolves Surrounding the Safe Zone. Young Master Gu is going crazy. CH 17. A pile of materials was placed in front of Lin Youyu. She took out the survival manual and turned to the page about manufacturing the module. After clicking on tiger skin armor, throw all the materials in front of you into it until there are enough. Start production finger taps on the create button. In a moment, a blue light burst out from the survival manual. The dazzling light is so eye-catching in the dark. So much so that Gu Shaoshang couldn't help but worry whether this would attract some monsters in the dark. It took about 15 seconds to make. Then the blue light dissipated. A set of exquisite tiger skin armor then appeared on the open space in front of him. Lin Youyu picked it up with a look of surprise and checked its properties. Tiger skin armor quality. Blue, strength +3, constitution +5. Features. Self-repair the tiger skin armor with white background and black stripes consists of a top and a pair of pants, forming a complete set. Although it is leather armor and its defensive ability is not as strong as heavy armor, it is light. Even Lin Youyu can run around wearing it. And blue quality equipment is beginning to show some magical properties. The characteristic of this tiger skin armor is self-repair, just like the white swordsman robe on Gu Shaoshang. There's no need to worry about it being damaged in battle, because if it is broken, it can repair itself and return to its original state. Brother Gu, give it to you where it... Lin Youyu held the tiger skin armor in his hands like a treasure, looking at it from left to right, and it was obvious that he loved it very much. But in the end, she gritted her teeth and handed the tiger skin armor to Gu Shaoshang. Gu Shaoshang, who has the stronger combat ability among the two, was chosen to wear this set of blue quality armor. However, Gu Shaoshang just took a look and shook his head. You can wear this armor when you have gathered all the materials for the second one. Make the second one and give it to me. Gu Shaoshang did not forget that Lin Youyu's clothes had been torn by the forest tiger before. Now the clothes were leaking and he had to hold them with his hands to prevent his belly from showing. This newly launched tiger skin armor just solved Lin Youyu's dilemma. As for wearing a torn piece of clothing all the time. Brother Gu, you are so nice. Lin Youyu gave Gu Shaoshang a hug with a touched look on her face, then happily ran to the other side to change clothes. Soon, Lin Youyu came back wearing tiger skin armor. The princess dress, which seemed a bit cumbersome in such an environment, was replaced with a tiger skin armor with a white background and black stripes. She still looked so cute. The originally large tiger skin armor automatically adapted to Lin Youyu's body shape after being worn, shrinking to a size suitable for her. Brother Gu, does it look good? Lin Youyu ran over and turned around in front of Gu Shaoshang, then asked with a smile. Well, it suits you very well. Gu Shaoshang nodded and said with a smile on his face. Hearing this, Lin Youyu also smiled happily. Sometimes he touched his pants, sometimes he touched the hair on his clothes. It feels really good, better than furs worth tens of thousands of dollars. Lin Youyu said with a smile. Just then a woo. Suddenly, there were bursts of terrifying wolf howls coming from outside the safe zone. Followed by, a large number of footsteps were heard outside the safe zone. The two of them quickly turned around to look. In the darkness, pairs of green eyes seemed to light up the dark night. If you look closely, you will see that there are so many of them that you can't even count them. Brother Gu, Lin Youyu ran over in fear and hid behind Gu Shaoshang, nervously grabbing his arm. Don't be afraid. We are in the safe zone. Everything will be fine. Gu Shaoshang patted the back of her hand gently to comfort her. The safe zone is absolutely safe, let alone a group of rampaging prairie wolves. Even the land beneath our feet was destroyed. This safe zone is still safe. Certainly, the premise is that people in the safe zone can fly. Otherwise, it will still fall. After all, the safe zone only ensures that you will not be harmed by the outside world while you are inside. Not omnipotent. After a while, more and more prairie wolves gathered outside the safe zone. At a glance, there are pairs of green eyes everywhere outside. Brother Gu, do you think these big bad wolves will disperse when daybreak comes? Lin Youyu asked with some concern. I think so. Gu Shaoshang seemed a little absent-minded. As he looked at the prairie wolves outside, an idea suddenly came to his mind. Can I take this opportunity to upgrade myself? After all, the group outside are just prairie wolves, not some scary monster. In fact, even if it was the forest tiger, Gu Shaoshang would not have such an idea. But if it's the steppe wolf seems okay, then give it a try. If it doesn't work, immediately retreat to the safe zone. Gu Shaoshang was also a hesitant person. Since he had this idea, he might as well give it a try. Anyway, he had the safe zone as his retreat route, so even if he was defeated, his life would not be in danger. After thinking about it, Gu Shaoshang told Lin Youyu about his idea. No, that's too dangerous. However, Lin Youyu seemed to be firmly opposed. It's okay, it's just a prairie wolf, and I won't leave too far, just at the edge of the safe zone. Even if there is danger, I can retreat to the safe zone immediately. But Lin Youyu was still somewhat worried about Gu Shaoshang's safety. Don't worry, I'm sure, Gu Shaoshang said with a firm look on his face. See this. Lin Youyu also knew that she couldn't convince Brother Gu, so she could only remind him not to go too far and to stay at the edge of the safe zone, and she would go over and watch from inside the safe zone. Once Gu Shaoshang was really in danger, she would be able to help and pull him back immediately. Anyway, she still has 99 chances to resurrect today. It doesn't matter if you die a few times. Outside the safe zone, tens of thousands of prairie wolves gathered here, staring at the two humans in the safe zone with bloodthirsty eyes, and some even drooled. To be honest, facing so many enemies at once, even if they were just prairie wolves, Gu Shaoshang still couldn't help but breathe heavier. "Brother Gu, be careful." Lin Youyu stood behind him and watched him walk out of the edge of the safe zone. The next second, a dozen of the nearest prairie wolves pounced on them instantly. Gu Shaoshang was extremely alert at this moment. He drew out the black-sheathed sword in his hand instantly and slashed at a prairie wolf that pounced towards him. Phew, blood splattered. 13 points of strength were poured into this sword, which directly cut through the flesh of the prairie wolf, revealing the white bones inside. This sword, used during the day, could even kill a prairie wolf in seconds. But the prairie wolves at night are clearly strengthened. With their bloodthirsty and violent nature, they have experienced tremendous improvements in both strength and defense. Gu Shaoshang's sword failed to kill the prairie wolf. Instead, he was bitten on his arms and legs by the prairie wolf. Health points dropped by 20 points instantly. Fortunately, in the next second, Gu Shaoshang slashed the injured prairie wolf with another sword, instantly sucking 22 points of blood. Not only did it recover the lost 20 points, there are 2 points of overflow. At this moment, Gu Shaoshang felt relieved. Looking at the prairie wolves in front of me, it felt like I was looking at a string of moving experience points. Chapter 18, Level 9, SSR Level Heaven Defying Blood-Sucking Talent. Late Knowledge, Late Realization, Fish in the Forest. CH18. Since you can't kill me, then it's your turn to die. A cruel smile appeared on Gu Shaoshang's face. The next second, phew, bang. Gu Shaoshang couldn't even remember how many prairie wolves he had killed. He only knew that each prairie wolf at night could bring him 3 experience points. When the killing was halfway done, he was upgraded. When the level reaches 8, the upper limit of health points reaches 120 points. The defense is stronger. The blood-sucking talent has been further advanced to the SR level. Blood-sucking, SR, each time an attack causes effective damage, it can restore 40% of its own upper limit of health and automatically restore 2% of its health per second. 2% automatic health recovery per second. That is, the health recovery rate is 2.4 per second. Each attack absorbs 40% of health, and one sword can absorb back 48 health points. This time, Gu Shaoshang is completely stable, even if attacked by 6 or 7 prairie wolves at the same time. He can also absorb lost health points with just one sword. More than an hour later, no one knew how many prairie wolves had died at the hands of Gu Shaoshang's sword. He only remembered that he had changed several places. He even kicked some prairie wolf corpses into the safe zone, allowing Lin Youyu to decompose them using his gathering skills. Otherwise, with so many corpses piled up outside, the prairie wolves outside would have come running over. Finally, followed by being shrouded in golden light again. Gu Shaoshang's level has been upgraded again. Level 9, Unknown Swordsman, Qualification, F level, Level 9, Experience Value, 0/600 HP, 130/130, Mana, 80/130, Strength, 14+1, Constitution, 13 Agility, 14 Spirit, 13 Physical Defense, 13 Element Resistance, 13 Attack Speed, 1.14/second, Fastest Moving Speed, 6.4 m/s, Critical Hit, 150% Innate Ability. Ultimate Blood Sucking, SSR, each time an attack causes effective damage, it can restore 80% of its own upper limit of health and automatically restore 10% of its health per second. Talent, Hidden Endless Talent. Endless Talent? Each time you level up, your talent level increases by 1. You get a new talent every 10 levels.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.